Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to thanks to my advisor Ibu Fitrawati SSMPD and also my examiners Ibu Dr. Ratmanida MID and Ibu Leni Marlina SSMA for giving me the opportunity to present my thesis examination via video. I would like to present my presentation about a study on English Department students' reading strategies at English Department UNP. This background of this research is according to the Song and Ming Hao 2017, which is that reading barriers are issues that caused mainly by language knowledge, generalization ability, and processing strategy. There are some reasons that might affect students' needs a reading strategy. The first one is to handle reading barriers. Student must know which one the barriers, reading barriers factor influence their reading ability. So by knowing the causes, a student can use the right strategies according to the students' barriers. The second is to monitor and direct students' reading process quite efficiently. In the reading process, students have to focus and use the time as good as possible. An effective reader will know which part of the text is important and need a deeper analysis by using reading strategies and save time in the reading process. Thirdly, to help students remember what they have read. It is related to the reason number 2, that by a monitor and direct students reading process, student will remember the text because the student have divided the text to some part, which part is important and need deeper analysis, and which one is the part they may to skip or do not need deep analysis. The last one is to make connection and inferences from the text. Reading strategies help students in connecting idea by idea in the text and make inferences about the text according to the students' understanding. This research have 3 main research questions that will be answered by this study. The first one is what are the reading strategies applied by English department students in pre-reading? The second one is what are the reading strategies applied by English department students in while reading? And the last one is what are the reading strategies applied by English department student in post-reading? The next is the research methodology. The researcher conduct 63 undergraduate students of English department UNP and choose randomly 10 of the 63 respondents for interviewing. And the researcher used 50 items of questionnaire and interview with semi-structured questions. The method of the research is descriptive research, and the researchers using online distribution to data collection, and when the analysis data, the findings were reported and explained descriptively. We come into result and discussion. From the chart in the screen, we can see that um, the previewing get the highest score than the skimming. It means that previewing is the uh, most strategy used by the student when they are in the pre-reading pass. The previewing get the 71.35%, and the skimming get 68.6%. For the detail of the previewing strategy, there are 8 statements that provide in the questionnaire of the previewing, and we can see from the table that statement number 8 got the highest score with the 274 score, which the statement is, I use English Indonesian dictionary to learn the unknown vocabulary. It means that the student still using bilingual dictionary English Indonesian when they are got stuck or find the new vocab and they didn't know the meaning of the vocab. For the detail, there are one of students disagree with this statement, 6 students unsure with this statement, 26 students agree with this statement, and 30 students strongly agree with this statement. Next, we come into the while reading strategies result. From the chart, we can see there are 5 strategies that apply in the while reading strategies. The highest score is predicting, the second is the scanning, and the number 3rd is guessing, number 4 is analyzing, and the lowest score is the taking notes. Predicting was occupied first place in the reading strategies with score 83.97%. It means that when students are reading text, they almost predict the text when they are reading the text. It is different with the predicting. Taking notes got the lowest score than other with only 67.78% score. And for the detail, we can see to the table that there are 4 statements provide predicting strategy, which is the highest score is the statement number 33. That said, I imagine what I read. For the detail, there are only 1 student strongly disagree with this statement, 7 students unsure with this statement, 16 students agree with this statement, and 39 students strongly agree with this statement. Next, we come to the post-reading strategies result. From the chart, we can see that there are 3 strategies that apply in the post-reading strategies. With the first one, strategy most used by the student is the follow-up activity, and the second one is the summarizing, and the last one is the worksheet. It can see the most strategy used in the post-reading is follow-up activity with score 74.15%, and in the other side, worksheet got the lowest score in the post-reading pass with only 63.10% students choose this method. And for the detail, we can see to the table that there are 7 statements provide to the follow-up activity, and the most statement the most strategies is used in the follow activities is the student check if their guesses about the text are right or wrong. there are the statement number 46 got the highest score with the score 252 score. With the detail, one student is disagree with the statement, 16 students unsure with the statement, 28 students agree with the statement, and 18 students strongly agree with the statement. We come into the interview result. So beside the using in question instrument, the researcher used the interview to get the deeper information about the students' reading strategies. So from the 10 indicator with 3 paths of the reading, there are several strategy that always do by the student. We can see that previewing are done by all of the interviewee. The skimming, it's only 4 students do it. The guessing only do in the guessing strategy only 1 student not use it. Taking notes used by all of the interviewee. Analyzing used by all of the interviewee. The scanning method only used by 4 students. Predicting method used by all of the students. Summarizing used by all of the students. Follow-up activity, it's only 1 student not use this method, and in the worksheet method it's only 2 students not use this method. In the pre-reading strategies, depend on the interview about the pre-reading strategy. The students said they are apply the strategy before start reading a text, which is it helps them in identify the outline of the text, and the second, in while reading strategies, we can conclude from the interview. According to the interview, when researcher asked them about predicting, almost of them answer always doing predicting in while reading past. They thought predicting naturally occur when they read the text without the comment from themselves. The last one is post-reading strategies. Stand on the result of the interview. Researchers found that the entire student doing follow-up activity to make sure themselves about the information they got from the text. So before we conclude the result from this study, the aims of this study is to find out the students' reading strategies at English Department UNP in pre-reading, while reading, and post-reading. So we can conclude that in pre-reading, the strategies used by the student is previewing with the highest score 71.35%. In while reading past, the highest strategy is predicting with 83.97%. And in the post-reading, the student usually apply follow-up activity after reading the text with the score 74.15%. I think that's all of my presentation and the result of this research. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.